From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big evening in here on LALATE, and I'm back with exciting great news this Wednesday evening here, direct from Santa Monica, about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, in the first part, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check. The Democrats will may likely give you more months of checks. In the second part of this video, we'll go over the recon and why my reporting has been confirmed. There's other sums of money for you in the fourth stimulus recon, and I'll go over all the breaking details about it. The third part of this video, we have some dates. We have dates about the bipartisan, we have dates about the recon, we have drafting updates as well. It's all getting very exciting. Then we cut to fifth stimulus, and Jay Powell, your head of the Federal Reserve, he was back as well today. Not in purple, but he was back, and he was talking about inflation. It's huge because under fifth stimulus, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, or veterans, your lift will be dependent upon inflation. I have all the breaking news about that as well. And then in the last part of this video, we'll go over to the thousands of dollars that viewers continue to get, tens of thousands of dollars, like Nisi, who got $23,000. I'll show you how to get this big money as well. It's a big night. It's a big evening. I'm excited to be back. And this is Evenings LALATE. Hope you're having a beautiful Wednesday evening. How's the weather where you are? Hope it's not too hot. It cooled down here in Southern California, but it still sort of feels a little bit muggy, but it's supposed to get better. I hope the weather is good where you are. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. In this fourth stimulus check in my return, there's so much breaking news. Boy, I got literally all this. Can you imagine all the breaking news tonight? First, the fourth stimulus check, updated 2021, part one. Monthly stimulus checks, the Democrats could potentially be giving you more months of checks. Second, the reconciliation, where that fourth stimulus recon apparently check is apparently located. I'll have the breaking details of the other sums of money in there for you. I've been telling you there was. I have all the details of the monies in this big breaking news report tonight. In the third part of this video, we have dates. We have dates for the bipartisan. We have dates for the recon. It's getting very exciting. And we also have drafting updates as well. Then we turn to fifth stimulus, which raised your benefits up based upon a new benchmark of inflation. Jay Powell spoke this afternoon. He was back. He was not wearing purple, but he should have been. I'll have all the breaking news about that as well. And then we go to the tens of thousands of dollars that viewers continue to get, like Nisi, who got $23,000 for this channel, Art Sullivan, who got 3 items, John, who got $12,000 for Snap, and this is LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week, financial news channel in America, live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto. Stay on this video. It'll take you automatically on to that video. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you to be part of this family. 400,000 subscribers in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. Hit that subscribe button right now. I want you part of this Purple Barra family. Like this video. Every like helps in the algorithm rankings. And consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the channel, the pinned comment. Let's get right into that monthly stimulus check starting right now. House bill, Senate proposal, and what happened suddenly that changed everything. House bill, pandemic plus 1 year. Senate proposal, July to December. Let's go over the monthly payouts. House, 1,000 after the first month of 2,000. Senate monthly unknown. But word on the street is this. Wow. Deliciousness. $2,000 over 6 months, $12,000. Deliciousness. $1,400 over 6 months. Deliciousness. $8,400. But everything changed so quickly. It was 2 weeks ago where I said, hey, those legislators may contend the pandemic's over and may only give you 12 months of checks, which is $13,000. And then I told you things were sort of changing because of Delta. And I said, well, maybe they may not consider it over. At this point, it's sort of obvious. It ain't over. It's definitely not over. So suddenly, when you look at the two approaches, the House seems to provide a lot more checks now that we think the pandemic's not over. So let's look at that amount right now and see how different it becomes. When you look at the House bill, it could potentially be pandemic plus 1 year, which is more than $13,000. Compare that to this and the Senate. I think you have an opinion. I think you have an opinion, and I think it may be a different opinion than 2 weeks ago. Jump in the live chat. Vote House or Senate. House or Senate. Tell me where you're tuning in from, and how's the weather. Vote House or Senate right now. I know my opinion changed. Things change very quickly. You're going to see later in this video how stuff really changes in the last few hours. Things just moving very quickly. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? Democrats represent that if you got a third stimulus check, you would get a fourth stimulus check. Single individual, $75,000 less. Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 less. Democrats represent they want you to have a fourth stimulus check, double it. Family of four, Democrats represent they want you to have a fourth stimulus check, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or more veterans, Democrats represent they want you to have a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. The fourth stimulus check will be the same for everyone. And the fourth stimulus check would not come in waves. It's a monthly stimulus check. So if you do see the check in the electric Cadillac and you wave at the check and the check doesn't wave back, the check it doesn't see you. Check is keeping its eyes on the road, trying to deliver the check and the Cadillac on time. So it's not a route check. It's just a attentive Cadillac driving check. Hey, check, how you doing? Route check. Go enjoy your Cadillac. I'm going to watch Sirloin at 8. So there you go. The fourth stimulus check. We cover the month of July for the month of July. And in the month of August, for the month of August, those Democrats represent. But in the second part of this video, we'll be going over the recon. It's getting so exciting because now that recon has other sums of money for you in there. I've been reporting you for 3 weeks there was going to be other sums of money. Now I got the confirmation. We'll be learning what those sums of money are. In the third part of this video, we'll be going over the vote, the dates. We suddenly have some dates. We suddenly have some votes. We suddenly have an agreement. It's getting very fast moving. We even have some details about when the bipartisan will pass over the finish line. Wow, it's just moving very, very quickly. But first, let's get a preview of the second half of this video. It's fifth stimulus. And Jay Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, testified today on Capitol Hill. I'll go over his comments and why that raise your benefits up so much with the new inflation benchmark. But first, let's get some money. I am so proud of you. You have done such incredible work. Viewers of this channel are getting fortunes. Jump in the live chat right now and post the money you got from rent, utilities, internet, Snap right now. Nisi, $23,000. $20,000 for rent, utilities, internet, Snap for the other $3,000. Art Sullivan got 3 items. And then John got $12,000 for Snap. I had said that rent was about $5,000, about 4 to 6 months of rent. I'm wrong. Viewers are getting $12,000 to $13,000 because of my videos. I said I can get you $300 for utilities approximately. I was wrong. Viewers are getting $3,000 for utilities. I said for Snap, I had a lot of viewers get $5,000 to $6,000 for Snap. I was wrong. Viewers are getting $10,000 to $13,000, $14,000 for Snap. Get that pen and paper ready. Here we go. We're going to go over all the details right now. There's nothing muddled purple about this at all. You're going to reach out to different places. They have different eligibility. One may say no, reach out to the next until you get a yes. Here we go. You can reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your state hall, your state housing authority. Keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Rent assistance because of COVID. You don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or muddled or range of options or circle around one more time or, the color wheel or teal. They know seal. I know seal. Great song. Great songs, but I don't know teal. Was that like the Spice Girl I missed? I don't know. And there you go. That is your fourth. That is the big sums of money that is available for rent. Congratulations to Tim and Linda who got this wonderful pot of money. The next pot of money is coming back. Is Snap. Tim got this, John got this $12,000 for Snap. Glenn got it for son, her mom, and son and mom, and Gail got it as well. It's a fortune. How much is it? A family of 4 in Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Why so much money? Because of 2 wonderful executive orders, one from Biden, one from Trump, that raise your benefits up 15% between now and December. So go get it. Wow, you're killing it. We covered $5,000 for rent, which is now about $10,000 for some viewers. $14,000 for Snap, and we are only 10 minutes of this video. Well, I got another pot of the money for you right now, and it's coming back from your states. The states have been ordered to return money back to you due to overpayment of computer error of unemployment benefits. Viewers have gotten $3,000 and $5,000 for this. Where is it landing? Direct deposit. When? Reach out to your state and say, hey, state, where is that money? And can you track it with a computer that actually works this time? And then the refund check from IRS. IRS. If you have been in the live chat, you haven't posted the money you got for rent, utilities, internet, SNAP, do it right now. Why? Because three things happen. One, it inspires other people to get the money. They start seeing people post the money, inspire someone else to get the money. Number two, it inspires someone who may have gotten one item to now realize, wait a second, I should be like Art Sullivan. I should get 3 items. Or Nisi, she got 3 items. Number three, it gives me an update about the numbers. Suddenly I see the numbers are bigger. And finally, it gives us an update about where monies are coming back. IRS checks for refund, where they're coming. Post in the live chat if you got yours as well. But I have breaking news about this. Minutes ago, the IRS announced that if you've not gotten your refund check due to overpayment of unemployment benefits, direct deposits will start July 14th and mailed checks will begin July 16th, and more refunds will continue through the summer. That's a breaking news statement from IRS. How much, where, and when? Let's go over the details. Let's say you had $9,000 of total unemployment benefits. You paid $5,000 of taxes, of which $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment benefits. Congratulations, you came back $4,000. Where? Direct deposit. When? Reach out. You can do a transcript search. Well, you just saw the when, but you can also do a transcript search. It's either come in direct deposit or in the mail. When you go to irs.gov, set up a username and password, go in there and do a transcript search, and 70% of the time it works. It'll reveal stuff that you never knew. It'll reveal some stuff that you don't want to know, and you wish you had never heard of it. It'll reveal the tax return you filed, the taxes you paid. It'll reveal, is teal a national color in the press corps of the White House? It'll reveal, does the teal princess drive a teal a Corvette at the Teal Beach House? And finally, it'll reveal the refund check you're getting back from IRS and the date you're getting it. Wow, can we top that? We can. As we go into your fourth stimulus recon of 2021 and your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 starting right now. The second part. Here we go. So it was no less than 3 weeks ago today that a split occurred. Up to today, 3 weeks ago, the recon was this monstrosity that had roads and bridges in there, and the Democrats had polled one another in a poll and said, would you vote for it? They said no, it's too big. So 3 weeks ago today, they took roads and bridges out and shrunk it and did a split. That split day set up 2 items of path: bipartisan roads and bridges and recon for stimulus. And those 2 items are now 2 paths, recon and bipartisan. In the last 8 hours, I've gotten a couple messages from people who are asking about terms, and they're getting confused, and it's not their fault. It's the guy who wants to name the rock group a different name every day. It's this guy. He keeps on changing names. So let me go over these changing names. Which one is your money? Your money is recon or reconciliation or budget bill. Those are the words you want to look for. If you hear the word infrastructure, it's not your money. That's roads and bridges. Or bipartisan, that's roads and bridges. Or anything that is bipartisan. If you hear something that's Democratic only, that's reconciliation. Now, as if that was not confusing enough, the 2 things combined now have a name. Oh. The 2 things combined now are called Build Back Better, or Build America Back Better, or what I call, come up with a better name better. So yeah, just look, when you're looking for your money, unless you own a road or bridge, which I don't think you do, look for recon, reconciliation, budget bill, or the Democrats only thing. That makes it easy. All right, how do we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot by taking roads and bridges out. And that wonderful spot's confirmed by a conservative publication that basically said the splitting 3 weeks ago, major recon now passable. In an op-ed, the author wrote, the higher the price line, the price number was on the recon, the harder it was to pass. There you go, confirmation. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending in the recon, roads and bridges, and put it into bipartisan, the price tag of the recon got smaller, obviously. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon now passable. Sorry, Mitch, sorry to set you up. Now, here's what's unusual, and it's changing by the hour. I would normally read you the second part of the quote, which basically says the GOP should never have done this because now it makes the recon passable. You're going to see in the third part of this video, the GOP is now excited about the bipartisan. So I'm not going to read you something sort of negative from this op-ed writer because now because it's actually not the current situation. The GOP is very excited and thinks the bipartisan is going to finish. Yeah, that's coming up. How do we get to this wonderful spot? Because of the progressives. Now, remember that once the recon was shrunk and roads and bridges was taken out, I have been telling you for 2.5 weeks that the progressives said they were adding other things in there a little bit. Well, I have confirmation. Today I have the other items for you. Just some of them, not an exhaustive list, but I have some of them. My reporting has been confirmed once again. So Jalapal had said that they were adding things in there. Torres, Representative Rishi Torres, said he was adding in housing. I refuse to vote for any bill that's not linked to a larger recon. And Representative Ilhan Omar said that they were adding in anything they wanted to add in. We have a commitment that regardless of what happens to the bipartisan, Congress will give us a recon that goes as far as we wanted. And the Progressive Caucus was meeting daily. How did we get to this spot? We got to this spot but because the recon is written by Democrats for Democrats and protected. Jalapal said, and also Brian Shantz, who's a Democrat, a progressive at Hawaii, that the White House considers the progressive priorities in the recon its own priorities. Now, here's what you need to know. It's important to understand who writes a recon. What is a recon? A recon stands for reconciliation. It's actually two bills, the reconciliation procedural and reconciliation substance. It's written by Democrats for Democrats to pass. GOP doesn't write it. They just vote against it and lose. The reconciliation has in there items, and those items are for you. It's not roads and bridges. It's money for the American people. Now, who writes it? The House subcommittees write it. And under the Constitution, there is no requirement of transparency. They don't have to show you what they're writing. They have to show you what they're voting on. They have to show you what's taken out or added in there. So you don't really see what they're doing. Each subcommittee has different subject matters. And let's say there's 10 different subcommittees. Those 10 different subcommittees have, let's say, 10 different pages they got to write. House Ways and Means is responsible for stimulus checks. House Ways and Means is also responsible for unemployment. When they're done with, let's say, those 10 pages, let's say those 10 subcommittees, then they just send them up, combined to Nancy, combine them, and then it's a bill. That's when you see the bill. The Senate subcommittees are also overseeing this with the House together because of the same party. Well, how did we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot from Jalapal, who had written Schumer a letter over a week ago saying Chuck called the vote on the recon. The letter was co-signed by 12 House Democrats from among the 100 plus who said we're going to put monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Wow, can we top that? We can. As 7 members of that House Ways and Means subcommittee, the one I just revealed to you, wrote the president a letter over a week ago saying we're going to be putting monthly reoccurring stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus recon. We got to hold them to that promise. Wow. Now, remember, they're on that subcommittee that's responsible for doing this. They wrote your third stimulus recon check. They're writing your fourth monthly stimulus recon check, and they're doing a fifth as well. Wow, can we top that as we can? As the president has now got his law on the books, the international corporate tax raise is now official. 3 weeks ago, the president went overseas to get a ceremonial signing, but it was not a formal sign-off. The formal sign-off is now law just a few days ago. Why is this huge? Because it makes fourth stimulus recon now passable. First of all, they don't have to have the provision in the recon so that it's easier to write it. It's easier to call for vote. It's easier to vote on it, and it's easier to pass it. Wow, can we top that? We can. As we go into the third part of the fourth stimulus check update of 2021, the final 15 minutes of this video, which is just absolutely going to be overwhelming with information. I have pages and pages of the items that are in the fourth stimulus recon, the other checks for you, confirming my reporting that there's other sums of money in there for you. I have details about the vote, the bill, the dates, the bipartisan, and the recon. And it's getting really great news, folks. And the celebrations are coming from both sides of the political aisle. Very exciting news. It's coming up in the final 15 minutes of this video. But first, but also coming up is fifth stimulus. Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, testified on Capitol Hill today about inflation. I'll go over how that impacts my SSI all the way up to my VA beneficiaries when you're looking to figure out how high your benefits will step up. Those details are coming up in a second, but something more wonderful, the volunteers. If you need help with rent, utilities, internet, SNAP, or anything like that, reach out to the volunteers. Go down in the description, find a emoji of a house. Click on that emoji of the house. It'll send you over to the community page. It's news.la.com/community. On the community page, you can reach out to the volunteers. They're separated from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And reach out to them for rent, utilities, internet, or SNAP. Because I got your back. They got your back. We're all part of this family. We're all here to help each other. Tens of thousands of dollars for you to get. I want you to get it. Here's a little bit about them. I'll be back in 60 seconds with you with the big exciting details still coming up on this evening's LALATE. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Evenings LA with exciting details across the board about your fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus updated tonight. I'm so excited for all these incredible details for you. We'll be going over them in the second part of this big update. The big issue at hand is how big this fourth stimulus recon will go, and we'll analyze all those details and more in this big broadcast tonight. Coming up is the big update about fourth stimulus, the vote, the date, the bills, everything you need to know. Then we cut to fifth stimulus and the comments by Jay Powell. But first, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you to hit that subscribe button right now. I want you part of this family. Also, like this video. 2,000-3,000 likes. Every like helps. And consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and the pinned comment. Stay on this video. It'll automatically take you to overnight's crypto happening right after this video is over. And coming up later tonight, of course, the sirloin. Let's cut to fifth stimulus reform, which is that incredible reform for my beneficiaries. First, under that reform, they're going to raise your benefits up a lifetime. And then they'll apply a new benchmark, and that new benchmark will be inflation. What's important to know is that they've been talking about this for a while, and this is the type of relief that Americans need. First, they'll raise your benefit levels up. Then they'll remove the asset limit, add in the inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. Well, what happened today? Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, testified on Capitol Hill. Let's go over what he said. He said that inflation will still go up to a higher point later this year. That's what he said 3 weeks ago. Highest point about December. He had a lower number on the inflation number, but he always does that. He said, 2, 3, 4%. But Wall Street thinks it's going to be higher. Well, here, let's go over the analysis. First, they'll raise your benefits up lifetime. Who's you? If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, or SSA. Then they'll apply that benchmark. Let's say the benchmark is 5%. That'll step your benefits up 5%. Not just next year, lifetime. Because once your benefits step up, they never step down. Next, if the inflation rate is 1% next year, your benefits will be +1, +5%. Wow. Incredible, great news. Also, under this reform, they'll remove the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't stay on benefits, and also have a stimulus check. $3,000 in hand. Now, they'll remove the asset cap, so you'll be able to have more than $3,000 in hand. Some stimulus checks and a taco. They're going to remove the asset cap, the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. And the marriage penalty is going to end. Love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest. You no longer fear the marriage penalty and no longer fear a loss of benefits. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will be able to get married and no longer worry about the marriage penalty. And there you go. That is your fifth stimulus. Now, if you're watching this video wondering, wait a second, how are these people in the live chat getting all these big sums of money? And they have a purple hawk next to their name? It's by becoming a member. The membership link's under this video where it says join here now. It's also in the top of the chat in the pinned comment. By becoming a member, you're delivered daily all the big money that's available for you under third stimulus. When third stimulus passed, it was important to understand that. That's what I did. I immediately got viewers' money. What's going on is that this is looking a lot like 2020, when we were waiting for second stimulus to come to a vote, and it hadn't, and people needed money. I stepped forward and I got viewers a fortune. I got viewers $250,000 to pay for their rent, to pay for their utilities. Viewers like Tyrone, $50,000 for his family of four out of Boston at the time. And so if you're having problems getting money, and you're waiting for money, then consider becoming a member, because as a member, I deliver daily all the big money for you under third stimulus. The link's at the top of the channel, pinned comment. And there you go. Let's go into the final 15 of this big fourth stimulus check up to 2021, starting right now. So much breaking news. First, let's go over the dates. Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi had promised 1,000 times that the final vote would be by July 4th for the recon. The reason why they said that at the time was they thought they had the Democratic support of that massive recon before the split. They don't, because they pulled the Democrats and they said, no, with the roads and bridges in there, we're not going to support it. So that's why they had to shrink it 3 weeks ago. Now it's been shrunk. What is the big update today? This video is going to be a little bit different than recent videos where I go over, well, then this, and why didn't they do this, and why did they do this? Because now we're on a positive path, so I don't need to really dwell on the negativity of what they haven't done, because we have so much wonderful breaking news tonight. First, we have the recon. Let's go over the recon first. First, the recon is near finished, and they're shoring it up. Let me go over the broad part of the recon, then go over the specifics. The great news was late Tuesday night, the Senate Democrats, who are the real core of this whole negotiations, came to an agreement that the price tag of the fourth stimulus recon will be $3.5 trillion. This is huge because for a series of reasons. One, they have an agreement about the total price tag of the recon, so that's done. Number two, it's a huge number. It's a huge, I almost cursed. It's a huge darn number. So if anyone sits back and says, there's no money in there for me, it's $3.5 trillion. Who do you think they're spending the $3.5 trillion on? Themselves, their hairstyle? No, it's $3.5 trillion. I mean, look at the first, second, and third stimulus I've covered in this video. $3.5 trillion is a fortune. You should absolutely be ecstatic. Number three, now that they have the price tag, there is enough wonderful comments by Democrats saying that this is a historic change, that this is a moment in history, and that you're going to see massive amounts of money going to the American people. That's their quotes. I mean, that's their quotes yesterday. Schumer, we're very proud of this plan. We know we have a long way to, we know we're going to get this done for the sake of the American people living a whole lot better. So this is not about a bridge being better. This is about you being better. Sanders says that this is a robust way. It's a pivotal moment in American history. Those days are gone where the wealthy and large corporations are going to start paying their fair share of taxes so we can protect the working families of this country. He said that this is an end to the time in which benefits go to rich people. It's going to now be a lot of money for people under $400,000 a year in income. And then there was a quote somewhere, which I don't have here, where Representative Senator Danny Kean, Democrat, Nancy's VP running mate, came out and said that it's huge that there's a price tag agreement among the Senate Democrats, because all that you need to do now is sort of figure out where they're spending the money. So great news. Next, let's go over what's in the recon. So we have some of the details of what's in the recon. Now, hold up. This is not an exhaustive list, number one. This is a list from a conservative publication. The reason for the article was, look at those Democrats. They're spending so much money on stuff they shouldn't be spending money on. That was sort of the attitude of the article. So that's how the information is filtered out, unfortunately. It's very sort of biased. So this is not an exhaustive list. This is sort of the ones they wanted to use as sort of the angling of their attitude of the article. There's money in the fourth stimulus recon for foods, meals, free school meals for all, tax breaks, cheaper prescriptions for all, immigration reform, greener farming stimulus. This is stimulus for the farmers. Sir Loin got his stimulus again. Money for the elections, closing the digital divide, free internet, where basically they're going to give monies to localities, cities and counties to run their own internet company and give it free to the citizens. Yeah, you heard me right, free internet. Clean energy perks, so free money for clean energy issues. There's money for worker protections, such as collective bargaining and unions. There's Medicare expansion, so that there will be added coverage for dental, vision, and hearing, and lowering eligibility age, and cheaper cheaper premiums across the board. There's just a lot of stuff in there. That is then the recon. Let's go to the bipartisan. So the bipartisan on Tuesday morning, if you read the articles Tuesday morning, looked like it was going off the tracks. It looked like it was in trouble. By Tuesday evening, they were basically, popping the corks on the champagne, the Republicans. So this is how things moved and changed very quickly. Here's what you need to know is that the Republicans now say that they think that they're shooting for an agreement on the provisions of the bipartisan by this Thursday, tomorrow, and are hoping for a vote next week. Now, here is my insight as to this, or opinion, is that Mitt Romney, who I have always said he's a straight shooter, he's the guy who really took care of second stimulus and got it moving along quickly. He says that he thinks they can get things done by Thursday for the deal provisions, and that there's stuff left over. But as to the vote, a lot of the non-political major news outlets say that a vote on the bipartisan next week could be a stretch. They think maybe the week after. But Romney and Republicans say they think Thursday it's happening, that the final agreement on the provisions will be done. We're very, and Democrats are excited about this as well. Romney says, let me jump to there's so many quotes from so many people. Romney says that we've made incredible progress. Even Susan Murkowski came out and said that as well. So Romney, let's see if I get the quote from McConnell also praised as well. Senator Kevin Cramer says that he thinks we're getting this done. Mitt Romney, we hope to have most issues resolved by Thursday, but there surely will be some after that, possibly. Susan Markowski was very ecstatic, said rolling, rolling, rolling. Kristen Sinema, a Democrat, says a very productive meeting. And then we have even Mitch McConnell, very exciting. Sanders says that the meeting was a transformative meeting. And so you have Republicans and both Democrats now saying they think the bipartisan will get done quickly. So you see how I sort of want to move away from why was it not written last month. I made that recording. Things have changed. So let's go over what you need to focus on, and let's go over the time frame. Remember that recon is your stuff and has to be called for a vote concurrently or before bipartisan. The fact that the bipartisan they think may get done as to deal provisions by Thursday and potentially ready for a vote as early as next week is huge, because we have confirmation from the Democrats that they have an agreement on the price tag of the recon and are near finished on the provisions of the recon. So suddenly this is going from, what are you doing, folks? Where's the date? Where's the bill? Where's the date? Suddenly we see lots of dates and lots of talk that the bills may be soon finished. Let's go over the voting process. 12 steps. 3 steps of 4. Why? Because we have 3 bills. We have reconciliation substantive, reconciliation bipartisan, reconciliation substantive, reconciliation procedural, and bipartisan. 3 bills. It does not take 12 days, but it takes 12 steps. What are those 12 steps? Step number 1, Senate subcommittee. Step number 2, Senate floor, House floor, and then the president, times 3. So 4 steps times 3. They can get it done in those 12 steps. Doesn't require 12 days. It's also important to understand they start on the Senate side and they go over to the House side. Next, it's important for you to focus on where your things are. So remember, you're not focusing on bipartisan. You're not focusing on the infrastructure. You're not focusing on anything that has a road and bridge in there, or anything that says Mitt Romney worked on. That's not your money. If it says Mitt Romney or Kristen Sinema or Lisa Murkowski worked on something yesterday, that's not your bill. Your bills. This is sort of like the customs or the baggage claim at the airport. It's not your bag. Your bag is over there. They look sort of the same. They're coming down the conveyor belt at the same time. That's not your bag. Your bag is over here. Your bag is recon. Now, it's important to understand that you need to push purple power. You absolutely need to push. What's important to understand is that a week ago tomorrow, the jobless claims number came out. It was horrible. What's the jobless claims number? It shows how many people who had jobs last year still had the job this year, but suddenly showed up to work after having a job for 2 years and showed up to work last week and were laid off. How many Americans? 375,000. Awful. Horrible number. The Wall Street is expecting 350. It blew out the number through the roof. Who's looking at these numbers? Wall Street is, but the people that are really looking at it is Congress and the president. They see these numbers and they want to hear from you. If you think that PEUC, PUA, FPUC, unemployment benefits should be extended or reinstated if they've expired, then push purple power. If you think that student loan debt forgiveness or mortgage forbearance or eviction moratorium should be extended or put into the recon, push purple power. You saw in this video where I talked about a lot of strange things in that forced stimulus recon. Don't think your stuff is so strange that it should not be included. These legislators have come to an agreement on the price tag, but they don't have a necessarily agreement on the provisions, and they can still put them in there. So pick up the phone and call your Democratic senators. Call them up and say, I believe we need this in there. We need this in there because this is what's going on with my family. This is what's going on with my community. This is what's going on with my town. I need this in there. They're elected to hear from you. They want to hear from you. So make the push, because ultimately you got to push down to the very last minute of which there is a call for the vote. Also go on social media, tag your elected officials, senators, and also the progressives. When we get close to seeing documents, I don't want you to react in any way to the document. So I don't want you to see the bipartisan and act, whatever to the bipartisan, because that's roads and bridges, not your money. And when we see the recon, I don't want you to think about anything either. Here is what you need to know if you're new to this channel. In fall 2020, they had to do something called a reconciliation. They had to do a CR, continuing resolution. It's a budget bill. It's not supposed to have stimulus checks in there. It's not supposed to have stimulus in there. But guess who got it in there? I did. I did with your push. I said, hey, here's an idea. They got to do a continuing resolution. I know you don't put stimulus in a continuing resolution. We will. It was called CR for stimulus. We made the push to put CR for stimulus. People thought we're crazy. It doesn't go in there. It's a continuing resolution. December of 2020. We got it done. They agreed to put stimulus in the CR. But then they tried to go behind our back. And what did they try to do? Give unemployment stimulus in the continuing resolution, no stimulus check. We pushed back. We said, no. We also need a stimulus check. And we pushed and we got it. And that was after everything was debuted on paper and pen. And we said, no way. You need to put things in here. Things can be changed down to the very last second. When you're talking about $3.5 trillion, that's a lot of money, folks. There's a lot of money, a lot of room to take a little bit less away from the electric this, or the little bit less away from the clean energy there, and put it over here. So you need to push down to the very last minute. And I'll be with you all this week with all this breaking news. There is a lot of breaking news. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto. Well, the breaking news is about crypto as well. So, and you stay on this video, it'll take you automatically there. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers of YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. I love your viewership, and I want you to continue to grow this channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes. Every like helps. It helps in the algorithm rankings. It also delivers less muddling. Consider becoming a member. The links is in the top of the chat and the pinned comments. Also, by becoming a member, you get delivered to you all the details about all the money you can get. And I want you to get that money as well. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful evening. I'll see you next on Overnights.